Welcome to our Q&A with our in-house seminarian, Nick Weiss.
Hi.
Um, we have a lot of questions about seminary life and the journey to the priesthood, questions from our families and friends, and also just questions in general. So we are going to see if Nick can answer those for us today and give us a little more information about what it's like to be a seminarian. So thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Glad you could be here. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you are in the formation process.
Yeah, my name is Nick Weiss. I'm a seminarian for the Catholic Diocese of Dallas. I just finished my 7th year of seminary. It's quite a lengthy process. So I just finished what's called my pastoral year, which is kind of like an internship year. So I spent this whole past school year at a church. Spent the whole year at a parish, learning from the priests, getting involved in all the different ministries and things. Absolutely loved it. And God willing, in 2 years, I will be ordained a priest.
All right, we're very excited about that. So I know that when you were, 4 years old, you wanted to be a paleontologist.
Correct.
And then maybe when you were 9 or 10, you wanted to be a video game designer.
Yes.
So when did you first think you might be called to the priesthood?
Well, back when I was thinking about being a video game designer, the idea of being a deacon was in my mind because I could do the whole church thing and also have a real job, which would be designing video games, which I thought was pretty cool. But then that kind of developed as I continued to grow in my faith and be involved in church. So I would say the idea of priesthood probably came in shortly after that. I was probably around 11 or 12 years old when it really started to come up, and it never went away. And I would say it really solidified in high school.
Yeah, I think when you came to us and said, I think I might want to be a priest, you were maybe 15?
Yeah,
Is that about
something
right?
like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you are going to be what's called a diocesan priest. So tell us the difference between a diocesan priest and a religious priest.
Yeah, so a diocesan priest is like your normal parish priest, right? So you have your dioceses, which are geographical groups of parishes spread all around the world. A diocese is watched over by a singular bishop. And so the Diocese of Dallas is kind of this one geographical area in the general Dallas geographical area, watched over by our bishop, Bishop Burns. And so when I'm ordained, I will be a priest for the Diocese of Dallas, and I will be in the general Dallas area my whole life. The rest of my life will be working as a priest here. Whereas a religious priest, right, you're studying and preparing to join an order, which are a little more specialized in their particular ministries and charisms. And some of them are bound to a specific place, like an abbey, and they never leave there, they're just there. And then some orders are more missionary oriented, where you could be sent anywhere by your superior. You could be sent wherever you're needed, basically in the whole world. But I'm on the diocesan side, so I will be in the general Dallas area, hopefully forever.
Okay. So what is your education like? What education do you need to become a diocesan priest, and kind of where are you in that journey, the education side?
So generally, the church asks all of her priests to have a college undergrad degree. So that was my first 4 years of seminary. I came in straight out of high school, so I had to get my undergrad during seminary. So my first 4 years of seminary was also as I was doing college, and I studied philosophy. So all seminarians who are getting their degree get their degree in philosophy. It's kind of the foundation for studying theology later on. Some guys come in, they already have an undergrad degree, they came in later. So they do not have to get another full degree necessarily, but they do have to do some of those philosophy prerequisites. So they have a few shorter years than I did. And so that's kind of the first stage in the educational process. And then after that, we work on a master's degree in theology. So I'm halfway through that program.
And so your undergrad was from the University of Dallas,
Yes.
and you're currently at Notre Dame Seminary in New Orleans for your master's degree.
Right.
So tell us about a typical day in the life at seminary. Is it this? And I know weekends might be a little different than weekdays, but give us like a general. What does a day look like for you?
Yeah. General day, wake up pretty early. So we have mass and morning prayer all together as a house, and that's around 6:45, at least at Notre Dame. So we all wake up early, we have prayer all together and mass. We have all of our meals together at the seminary, so we eat breakfast. Then most of the morning and early afternoon is classes. So we have our class schedule throughout the day. You might have a few meetings interspersed in there, you're meeting with different priests. A little bit of downtime as well, so we can do our homework, we can relax, work out, we have a gym, things like that. Then in the evenings, we all come back together for evening prayer and dinner. Typically, the later evenings are free. Once again, relax, homework, whatever we need to do. We have a lot of communal, fun activities. So we do a lot of sports that are often in the evenings. And yeah, weekends kind of all over the place. A lot of weekends are typically free, but we also have some events that happen too. Sundays are usually pretty set. We have our big Sunday mass, and then usually pretty free after that.
So our dog is here helping. Do you want me to? Is he okay? Do you want me to get some relief?
He's fine.
Okay, all right. So I know that when you're in seminary, both at Holy Trinity and at Notre Dame, you have a house job. Is that what it's called? A house
Yes.
job. Can you tell us maybe some of the house jobs you've had and maybe what your favorite one was or least favorite one?
Yeah. So some of my jobs that I've had the job of guest master. So I held the master key to all of the rooms. So whenever we had guests come in, I would set up their rooms, help them be welcome, things like that. Also let in seminarians who got locked out of their own rooms. I've been audio-visual coordinator, so setting up screens and various AV equipment and things. I've been a sacristan, so one of the guys who helps to set up for Mass. And I've been a barista at our Notre Dame Seminary coffee house. Of all my house jobs, I think sacristan is my favorite. I love being able to work that closely with the Mass and set up, and it helps me learn the Mass a little better too, just having to deal with all of the items and things that go on there.
Do you have any say in what your house job is, or is that just assigned to you?
At Holy Trinity, they were just assigned. We had no say. Notre Dame, they kind of asked for a kind of a poll of our preferences in the beginning of the year.
So do you, when you're not in school at the seminary, you have summer assignments. So can you tell us about some of your assignments you've had when you're in between semesters, when you're not at the seminary, and maybe what some of your favorite summer assignments have been?
Yeah, so some of my summer assignments so far have been in a parish for a few months. I've worked at a Catholic summer camp, the Pines, out in East Texas. We've done several different summers of doing homeless ministry, working with the poor, encountering them. I spent a summer up in Omaha, Nebraska for what's called the Institute for Priestly Formation, kind of a spiritual summer working on just diving into my relationship with the Lord, entering into prayer and community with other seminarians from across the country, which was a lot of fun. And then I spent a summer in Honduras doing mission work and kind of a Spanish immersion, working on my language skills. And I've spent a summer in a hospital, doing hospital chaplaincy. I love my summer assignments, the opportunity to just really dive into different ministries. My favorite was working at the Pines. It was a big part of how I came to know the Lord and really enter into my faith. And it was super cool to just dive back into that, be able to get back, just have a ton of fun working at a summer camp.
So you just told us at the beginning about your pastoral year. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your pastoral year and what that entails?
Yeah. So, like I said, the pastoral year is kind of an internship year where I was at a parish the whole year. So, I was kind of being mentored by the pastor there, and then just being plugged into all different aspects of parish life, which was so much fun, so good. I was assigned to St. Anne Catholic Church in Coppell, Texas, which is a huge Catholic church, tons of people, but very active, very lively community. So it was awesome to just dive into that, be able to serve in so many different ministries, youth ministry and Alpha and children's ministry, so many things. Coordinating different liturgies and different events, really just getting to know the life of this parish. And, love these people and be loved by them in so many awesome ways. So it was a huge gift for me to just have a chance to live some of the life that I've been pursuing for many years now. Just get a real taste for what parish life is really like.
So I know just this past Saturday we had 4 new guys ordained to the priesthood for our diocese, which is very exciting. And back in March we had 4 guys ordained to the transitional diaconate. First, can you tell us a little bit about the transitional diaconate? Because that's like the last step, right, before priestly ordination. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right, so the transitional diaconate is the final stage before being ordained a priest. So there's 3 different orders, right, in the sacrament of holy orders. You have your deacons, you have your priests, and you have your bishops. So I'm obviously working towards the priesthood, but you have to go through that stage of being a deacon for a little bit of time first, this ministry of service to the church. So every man before he's ordained a priest is ordained a deacon, and the church requires at least 6 months as a transitional deacon, but it's typically longer. Can kind of be a little bit flexible, but yeah, a little bit of time there.
So when you first entered seminary, you didn't know the guys who were being ordained that well, but now some of your very good friends are being ordained transitional deacons and priests, guys that you've been in seminary with, that you spend time with even outside of seminary. So how does it feel to see your people you know really well, your good friends, being ordained?
Yeah, it feels awesome. It's so exciting. Just to celebrate the accomplishments of my friends, to see the work that God's doing in their lives, to see that they've made it is just super exciting in itself. And then it's also encouraging for me. I'm like, okay, I'm friends with this guy. I know him well. He knows me well. I'm almost there. There's a finish line in sight at this point. And it's just a real blessing to be able to see that and to serve at their first masses and things. It's really awesome.
That's great. Well, yeah, we're getting excited because it seems like you've been in seminary forever,
Yes.
and now finally we're 2 years away from the goal. So, are there any? So after you graduate from Notre Dame, you'll graduate in December 2025
Yes.
with your master's degree. What happens during that time? So first is transitional deacon.
Yep.
And then tell us what happens between graduation and priestly ordination.
Yeah, so the idea is I will be, like you said, graduate in December of 2025 and be ordained a transitional deacon right after that. And then I'll be placed in a parish somewhere in the Diocese of Dallas. So I'll be back in Dallas, and then I'll just be at that parish for 6 months, somewhere around there, and then ordained a priest.
Now, when you're ordained a priest, do you have a say in what parish you go to? Does the bishop just assign you that? How does that work? Do you go back to your home parish?
So the bishop is ultimately the one who decides these things. The priest can kind of give some feedback, some say, but it's ultimately wherever the bishop sees the need, right? The need, he sees the whole diocese. He's got to deal with all of these parishes, and so wherever he sends me is where I'll go, and that Could be anywhere in the Diocese of Dallas.
Okay, so tell us maybe some fun facts about yourself. So you don't just read your Bible, you don't just spend time in prayer, you don't just go to Mass. What are some other things that you do for fun?
Yeah. I love playing music, so I play guitar and piano and really whatever other instruments I can get my hands on. And this included being in a band at Holy Trinity Seminary, which was a ton of fun. Me and about 6 guys, we had a little band, and we got to play at various church functions around the diocese.
That was fun. Down the hill.
Yeah, it was a great time. I love playing sports. So like I said, we play a lot of sports at the seminary, which was a ton of fun. The biggest event at Notre Dame Seminary is actually our wiffle ball league. So completely in-house league, tons of fun, great drama that happens there, but a lot of just good competition. I love movies, love watching movies, and having a philosophy degree, philosophically picking apart all of my favorite movies.
Maybe planning Disney trips. I've trained you well to
That,
plan Disney
that
trips.
might happen as well.
Okay. So, is there anything else you want to share before we have some rapid fire questions just for fun, just to see what you say off the top of your heads. But before we do that, is there anything else you want to share about seminary life?
Seminary life is hard, but it's a joy. It has been the greatest gift that I've had in my life. If you are watching this and considering what the Lord might be asking you to do in your life, do not be afraid, because He has a great plan for your life and wants you to be happy in whatever that is. Wants to use all of your gifts and talents for His glory and wants you to be happy. So, do not be afraid, and I can testify that it is a joy pursuing that life, right? Striving to do the Lord's will.
Okay, so I didn't let you know what these questions were going to be, so
Right.
I just want you to just tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
Great.
Okay. What is your favorite sport?
Soccer.
Do you have a favorite book?
Lord of the Rings.
Do you have a favorite movie?
La La Land.
What is your favorite music genre?
Folk music.
Favorite instrument to play?
Guitar.
Favorite food?
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Do you have a favorite kind of bird?
Pelican.
Okay. What is your favorite ride at Disney World?
Well, for the longest time it was Splash Mountain, but that's no longer there. So I will now say Rise of the Resistance.
Okay. What is your favorite video game?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Do you have a favorite saint?
St. Augustine.
And the last one, favorite Bible verse?
2 Corinthians 12:9. For my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness.
All right. Well, thanks for sitting down with me. This was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew some of those answers, but hopefully this will help, people understand what seminary life is like and what it takes to become a priest. And maybe we'll sit down and do this again. So real quick, before we finish up, where are you heading next? What is this summer's assignment? And so right in the very near future, what do you have coming up?
I will be going back to Honduras in several weeks to do another summer of immersion and mission work.
All right. Well, we look forward to hearing about how your summer goes, and we'll be praying for you, and it's just an exciting time for us. So
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.